friends, this is Kristen from the Pros and Cons team. Today I'm really excited to talk to you about the pros and cons of budgeting. So budgeting, it's a lot of times people either hate it or they love it, and there are so many ways out there to budget. However, most budgeting programs, if stuck to, or budgeting ideas, will benefit, like you'll get the same benefits, pros and cons. So start off with the pros of budgeting is it can save marriages and families. So many problems are caused today by lack of communication, which I feel like budgeting is communication between husband, wife, and whoever else that you need to budget with is super helpful if you can have that communication and budget. And so that is a pro, is it will save you so much heartache if you can master it. Another great thing about budgeting is you are less likely to do spontaneous buys. Are you going to go out and buy a truck that's $40,000 if you're budgeting? No, not just on impulse. You're going to be like, okay, well, actually, we do not have money for that. So that is something that's really great with budgeting, is you are less likely to do that and have those impulse buys that you are going to regret later. Another thing that's really great about budgeting is it teaches children the importance of being self-reliant and being in charge of their money and not letting their money running away with it. So that is super great with budgeting. I think it just causes a lot of peace of mind, at least for me, being like, okay, this is what we're going financially, and this is what our goals are, and we are on the same page, which is super great. Another thing with budgeting is it helps you fulfill your dreams. So there's a lot of people that are like, someday I want to go to Hawaii, but then they never plan money, financial wise, to go to Hawaii. So when you have that budgeting in place, you're like, okay, I want to go to Hawaii, let's say 3 years from now. I'm going to put aside this much money every paycheck to go to Hawaii. So it gives you an ability to get those goals and achieve those goals. It also just makes it so you know what your money is doing. And you're not just living paycheck to paycheck and all that stress. Okay, moving on to the cons. You're not going to have the impulse buys. You don't have that maybe same freedom that you feel like you had before, because you just don't just spend your money all the time. You see the money and it's like, oh wait, we can spend it. No, you can't. That's for savings or whatever. So that can be a con. Another thing is budgeting takes time. It takes work, and it will take compromises and so many things. So that is another thing with budgeting that can be a con. Maybe you want to put aside more in savings than your spouse does, or maybe you are wanting to be able to go buy that new house down the street and your spouse is like, no, we don't have money for it. So it can cause problems, but it's better than if you just don't have a budget and then just buy the house or whatever. So that can be really hard. Another thing that is hard with budgeting is sometimes you don't stick with it. You will get discouraged and be like, oh my gosh, we can't spend money on this and this and this, and then just blow it and just run away with it. Another thing is it can be hard to budget when you feel like you barely are getting by, and it can be super stressful when you're seeing the numbers and being like, hey, we have to pay a mortgage, and we have to pay for food and for gas and for utilities and for internet, and then you see how much you have left after all that, and you're like, we're going to be putting aside X amount at the end of the month. Is it really beneficial? So that can be super discouraging, but don't lose hope. You can do it. It really is, I think, more beneficial. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I have definitely been a pro budgeter, and really there is so much out there that's great with budgeting, and so many things, so many people that are there to help you create the budget you need, so that you can have the most fulfilling life with your money. and all that. I hope that you found this video helpful. If there are additional pros and cons that you would like to add, please leave them in the comments below. Also, you can check out more pros and cons linked in the description below. I hope you have a great day. Bye!